The divine bliss, which is the source of all happiness, is related to its knowledge that was revealed in its original form by the supreme divine power, Krishna, during his miraculous appearance in this world. That was the Gita, the origin of all the spiritual isms and the knowledge of all the knowledges, which has now been further simplified by His Divinity Swami Prakashanand Saraswati, the foremost disciple of Jagadguru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj, who is the supreme divine descension of this age. The Gita is not only a philosophy, it is a promise of God.
Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijani priyosi me.
It tells to merge all the spiritual formalities into the exclusiveness of loving devotion to the supreme form of God, and you will receive His vision.
Naumi Dyate Bhavapushe Tadidambaraya Varhavatan Saparipi Chalasanmukhaya Vandyasraji Kamalavetravishalabhiruhu Lakshmashri Mridupade Pashupangajaya Namaha Kamalana Namaha Kamalamaliini Namaha Kamalapandaya Namaste Kamali Chanam. The Divine Souls. In this series, we are going to listen about Gita. The Gita said by Krishna is very popular. Everyone has heard about Gita and read something about Gita. But what is Gita? Very few understand. And those who understand, the Gita says they could find God in this lifetime. Gita is a song of life. If you understand, otherwise, sorrow of life as you live. This was said by Krishna 5,000 years ago. You see, when Krishna descended on this earth planet, after some time he revealed the Gita, and when he left this earth planet, say about 5,000 years ago, after that, Vedavyas, his Bhagavatam was said by Shukadeva. say about 30 years after Krishna's ascension, 30 years and 6 months, the Bhagavatam was first said by Shukadeva to Parikshit. Vedavyas is the personality who has revealed all the scriptures. There are two kinds of scriptures. The one directly said by God, the others indirectly said by God. Means said by God through some saint, some sage. Again, that's also saying of God. Gita is the scripture of scriptures. Very famous verse. Sarvo Upanishado Gao Dogdha Gopalanandanaha. Gita is the essence of all the Vedas, all the scriptures, all the isms. Briefly, I could say there are 4 Vedas: Rig, Yaju, Sam, Atharva. 4 Upavedas. Upavedas means science of economics, science of defense, science of health, medicine, and art. Then there are 6 Vedanga. And all these 4 Vedas, they have 1130 branches and same amount of Brahmana Bhag and same amount of Aranyak. There are 2 more, same amount. This is just the Vedas. Aranyak, we have Upanishads. They are around 200 Upanishads. Brahman Bhag is a great description of rituals, Vedic rituals, yajna. Then we have 2 history books, Valmiki Ramayanam and Mahabharata. Then we have 18 Puranas and 18 sub-Puranas, Upapurana. Then we have 6 schools of philosophy: Nyaya, Vaisheshik, Sankhya, Yoga, Purvamimamsa, Uttarmimamsa. They are big books. Then there are more books on explanation and description of Vedas and Puranas, Nibandha and Agam. Agam books like Narada Pancharatra. These are the main scriptures revealed by God directly or through a particular saint. Main scriptures. Then all those great divine personalities who came on this earth planet, they followed the same tradition of Vedas and Puranas and Smriti Granthas. There are also 42 Smriti Granthas. Out of those, Manusmriti and Parashara Smriti are important. So following those lines, they also wrote something. How many are they? Thousands. They are also scriptures. Then on the top of that, Vedavyas wrote one book. It's called Vedanta Sutra or Brahma Sutra. On that Brahma Sutra, 4 Jagat Gurus gave their big explanation, big explanation, Bhashya. So, you can fill a small room with all these books. One life is not enough to finish all the books. They are all main scriptures. What is Gita? Essence of all of that. Imagine. The essence of all of the scriptures is Gita. How many verses? Only 700. You see, one book, Mahabharata, has 100,000 verses. Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses. And so many other books, millions of verses, millions and millions. Gita only 700 verses. It reconciles all the philosophy, all the isms, the essence of all the scriptures. So it is very simple to understand and very difficult to understand. Why simple? Why difficult? See, we have one more tradition. Every scripture has some quality, some qualification. Means a scripture, what it reveals. Who has said that scripture? Who is qualified to study that scripture? And what is the consequence of that study? These four are main. Means who is qualified to study that scripture? One thing, the scripture, what does it say? The subject matter. The subject matter. And the consequence. So, what is the subject matter of the Gita? Subject matter is knowledge. That's it. Shraddhavan lavate jnanam. To get knowledge. That's it. So, are we all ignorant? Yes. There are two kinds of ignorance. Literal ignorance and devotional ignorance. We are not literally ignorant, but devotionally we are ignorant. So that gives knowledge. Okay. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of God? No. Knowledge how to find God. Knowledge how to remove the effects of all of your karmas, the consequence. There are two consequences. Means removing the consequence of all the karmas, effect of all the karmas, means liberation. And finding God. This is the consequence. So it deals with all these matters. Who is qualified? It's very obvious now. The one who desires God is qualified. Very simple. The one who desires God is qualified. The one who does not desire God, Gita is simply a novel for him. The one who desires God, for him Gita is a spiritual novelty, not just novel. A spiritual novelty for the one who desires God. So desiring God is the only thing to make you qualified to study the Gita. So the book Gita you can buy anywhere for a few dollars. But for a few dollars or a few rupees, you get the paper and something printed on that. That's it. You get the paper and book and print, not the Gita. not the Gita. Just like you say, you write perfume, a perfume brochure in your hand, you see the writing, there's no perfume in there. You have to buy the perfume. So the word perfume and the actual perfume, two different things. So you can buy Gita word for a small amount of money. But to receive Gita, the knowledge, you have to be qualified for that. And qualification only desire to find God. Again, desire, how big desire, how small desire, Gita says it doesn't matter. Any amount of desire, from 1% to 99%, any amount of desire. But that desire must be exclusive desire. You see, there are two things. Desiring God only and desiring something from God, two separate things. If you are desiring something from God, you are not desiring God. I am saying desiring God only. Desire could be mild, feeble, weak, doesn't matter. Whatever it is must be pure, means pure desire, not impure desire. So pure desire of any limit. Impure desire of a great limit, no, is useless. You see somebody is in distress. He is crying in tears, "Oh God, please help me." Like a great devotee, he is crying in tears. He is in distress. He is longing. But his longing, his tears, everything is not for God or God's vision or God's knowledge. It is for his own personal convenience. He wants something worldly and he makes God a medium. So even a great desire, if it is impure, cannot equal to a very feeble desire if it is pure. So I am talking of pure desire, not impure, not adulterated desire, pure desire. Oh God, I want you. That's it. How much you want him? Your own outlook. But if you have even a small desire to find God, pure desire, you are qualified to go through Gita. And you will learn more through the Gita. That's the qualification. Okay, so what you will receive? The same thing you desired. You desired God. And if you desired God, you wanted to be free from this world. Why did you desire God? Because this world was not enough for you. You say enough, enough. Means you have suffered enough in the world. You don't want any more suffering. You want to be away from suffering. You want some peace, happiness, love, great happiness. You want that thing. So, you wanted God for that thing, for liberation from all these sorrows and pains and sufferings. And you wanted God, so you could receive both, liberation from worldly pains and miseries, and receiving God, divine. That's the consequence. So, in this way, Gita explains both liberation and God's abode. Mamevo prapnuvanti mamyo. Gita says, they come to me. Take the last verse. Aham tva sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami. Sarvapapebhya mokshayishyami. What is papa? Papam tadbija mavidya chaitititratha. There are three kinds of pap. Pap means anything happening under the control of Maya is all called worldly activities, worldly actions. So they are binding you. Your present actions, your past actions, your past uncountable actions stored in your unconscious mind, all those actions, they are unfructified. They are waiting to fructify. So they are the bondage. Yeah. And then your mind. What kind of mind you have? Material mind. Material mind is also a bondage because you have emotions. Joy, happiness, desire, sorrow, pain, jealousy, anger, greed, enviousness, all of these, your emotions, mental emotions are also a bondage. You cannot get rid of them. Your actions are binding you. Your emotions are binding you. This world, you have to live for some time and then die, then again rebirth. Death and life, again a bondage, the cycle of life and death. And the ultimate bondage, which is causing all these, is your initial mind. It's called Maya, Chit Jada Granthi, the main veil of Maya, which is causing all these. So briefly describing, they are all bondages. All bondages of karmas. These three kinds. Past karmas, present karmas, or emotion that causes to do karmas, and the origin that causes emotions that causes karmas. So Krishna said, Sarvapapebhya. Okay, I will eliminate all of that. Fine. Again he says, Moksha ishyami. Ma shuchaha. Don't worry. I'll give something more. Not only elimination of the bondage, not only elimination of the karmas, not only elimination of sorrows and pains, plus something more. What is the plus? He says, Ma shucha. Don't worry. Moksha. That word moksha, Krishna indicates everything with one word. I can't go into detail today, probably some time. So, moksha, salokya, sarupya, samipya, sayujya, sarshti. There are 5 kinds of liberations. So he said one word, moksha. All kinds of liberations, all kinds, he will give. So he already gave liberation from the bondage of karma. Yes, then those liberations are plus, liberation plus. He indicated, tad dhama paramam mama, yad gatva nani vartante. You reach there, I don't come back. Tad dham. I have my abode. Not only pure liberation plus the bliss of my abode. I give you both, the bliss of my abode and liberation. Who is saying? Krishna. Krishna revealed this Bhagavatam. So I explain who is qualified to study the Gita? The one who desires God. Lord Gita says to eliminate your sorrows and pains, plus to receive the bliss of God and God's abode. And who said this Gita? Krishna. Now the main question is, who is Krishna or who was Krishna? You would have heard Krishna incarnated. Did Krishna incarnate? I would say no and never. Krishna can never incarnate. He never incarnated. But we are hearing this word from hundreds of years. So what is the secret behind this? I'll explain tomorrow. Now we will do some chanting. The same feeling of closeness of Krishna with you. Sing a few minutes. गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल